Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode in our series of contemporary Western philosophers. Today, we shall take a look at Heidegger's philosophy of God. And the first question that we kind of ask when we dive into his philosophy of God is the question that was Heidegger an atheist? Now, at first glance, many people assume that Heidegger was an atheist because his philosophy, especially in being and time, seems to focus only on finite and temporal existence. Meaning, human life is limited by time and there is no discussion of an infinite, eternal being like God. Now, Heidegger suggests that anything eternal and infinite might not even exist in the way we understand existence. Why? Because all existence is bound by time. And therefore he says that if something is truly outside time, it might be beyond our understanding, almost like nothing. Now, Heidegger himself denied being an atheist. In his letter on humanism, which was published in 1947, he clarified that his philosophy neither affirms nor denies the existence of God. And therefore he argued that his existential analysis of human beings, Dasein, was simply not the right framework to answer the question of God. For example, imagine a scientist studying biology. If you ask them, can you find God under a microscope? They might say that is not how science works. Similarly, Heidegger's existential analysis is about understanding human existence. It is not designed to prove or disprove God's existence. That is why he rejected the label of atheism. He did not deny God, but he did not also attempt to prove God using the methods of existential philosophy. And that brings us to another question. Was Heidegger indifferent to God? Now, if Heidegger was not an atheist, does that mean he simply did not care about God? Was he indifferent? Well, the answer here is no. He was deeply interested in the question of the divine, but he believed that modern human beings were too preoccupied with worldly matters to truly engage with the question of God. And according to Heidegger, he says that modern people are constantly engaged in their daily lives, careers, technology, and ambitions. And because of this, since we are so much preoccupied about things around us, this makes us unaware of deeper spiritual realities. So, for example, when we are so occupied with our work, when we are so occupied with our studies, it sometimes is difficult to understand what is happening within us. This is exactly what Heidegger says when he means that we are unaware of the deeper spiritual realities, not aware of what is happening within us. And he says that it is not that God is dead, as Nietzsche suggested. He doesn't refer to that concept, but rather he says that modern man no longer listens for the divine. No longer there is a yearning for the divine. We are so occupied with the world around us that we are not able to interpret the signs of the time. If we spiritualize it, we can say that we are not attentive to the signs of the time. Now, however, Heidegger did not lose hope. He believed that the world is waiting for a new revelation of the divine. And he saw poets, especially people like Friedrich Hölderlin, as people who expressed glimpses of the divine through their art. For example, imagine a person so busy with work and social media that they never stop to look at a sunset, or they never have time to reflect on the mystery of life. Heidegger would say that this kind of person is not opening, or he is not open to experiencing the sacred. But he says that poets and artists might capture glimpses of something greater, not through logical proofs, but through beauty and deep reflection. Thus, he says that in general, when we look at Heidegger's philosophy, it is okay to say, or it is in a way safe to say, that Heidegger was neither an atheist nor somebody who was indifferent. Instead, he saw the question of God as something beyond traditional philosophy, something that might only be revealed through poetry, art, or a future transformation in human understanding. So in other words, we cannot use what we have, traditional methods, to understand God. We need something higher, we need something beyond to understand a reality that is beyond our understanding. So this brings us to the end of Heidegger's philosophy of God, and by this we also end our discussion on existentialist philosophers. Next time around, we'll take a look at philosophers involved in the philosophy of life movement, namely Friedrich Nietzsche and Teilhard de Chardin. So till then, see you next time.